So we got rid of the C's from the bottom two equations in the red box. And then we multiplied the top one by 2. And then added those, the red and the green together to get B equals 1. I'll go get it. Don't worry about it. What are you going to do with B now? B equals 1. We're going to show me how to find A and C. Show us how to find A and C. Show me how to find A and C. After you found B equals 1, okay, so what did you do with the B equals 1? What should we do with it? We could plug it into the first equation, that's true. We could come up here, plug it into that first equation. 4A plus 7 times 1 equals 19. How much should we subtract from both sides? 7. So that would be 4A equals 12. And if we divide by 4, we find out what? A is 3. Now what are we going to do? We got A and B. How do we find a C? Plug it in. All right, which equation would you like to use? Second one? Okay. Second one. So we have 8 times 3 plus 2C equals 28. How much should we subtract from both sides? 24. Right? Because 8 times 3 is 24. So we have 2C equals 4. What does that mean about C? C is 2. So what's my answer to the question? 312. It is a specific location in the universe where those systems meet. Did I lose anybody in that process? Found B first and then plugged it in. Please be systematic in how you do things, or color code it, or draw arrows, or something so you can follow your own logic. Because you're going to be using these notes for testing. We're at least going to practice one more day and then test. Okay, move on to question 2. Okay, Mr. Pais, can you give me a variable out of those 3 choices that you think we should get rid of first? He selects B. Alright? I think if I'm looking at the numbers with B, we're talking about 3's and 2's. So the smallest number that 3 and 2 both go into is 6. Therefore, if we use that logic, we want to multiply this one by 2. We want to multiply this one by 2. And we're going to multiply this one by, how about -3? Okay, now if you're asking me why, that's a good question. I'll show you what I'm thinking in my mind, okay, as we rewrite these 3 equations. write them and I'll write them and see if we agree. Do we match? If we don't match, then I either need to find my mistake or you need to find your mistake. But we have to match, otherwise we're going to go down the wrong road here. So if I've made a mistake, point it out to me. Because that's the last thing we need to do is start solving. Because if you make a mistake now, you're going to come up possibly with fractions, and that's, I promised you that we wouldn't go down that road. Yes. Okay. Let me show you why. See what I highlighted in the red box? I really, really, really want something like this to happen. Where I have one group of letters that are either positive or negative of the exact same number. So that I can start matching them up and getting rid of that variable. So, I think you and I are thinking in the same way. But when you look at the first two equations, yes, I understand. You could get rid of those two. But I have seen, and I'm not kidding when I say this, decades of students do those first two equations and then not know what to do with the bottom two. They get stuck. They make mistakes. So the reason I am recommending to you that we multiply first is because right now, if this were the problem I gave you to begin with, I would expect you to put those two equations together, and I would expect you to put these two equations together. So add the red ones together, add the purple ones together. But you understand why I'm adding the red ones? You can. Too many mistakes happen when people don't. But you can. I kind of, the reason I'm guiding you this way is because I'm trying to get more people to make fewer mistakes. It's not because you can't. Just like I said earlier, you can use subtraction with elimination. But people make all kinds of mistakes when they do it. It's not that people can't do it. It's just I'm trying to kind of guide the ship so we make fewer mistakes. You guys are perfectly capable of doing it. But we're just making some mistakes along the way. It's a good question that you asked, by the way. It is a good question. And I want you to keep asking those kind of questions so that you understand what I'm doing or why I'm doing it. I'll be right there in a second. Hopefully we are agreeing. up to this point with the red and the purple equations. Red and the purple equation. If this were the original problem, it's going to be much easier. These are all lined up exactly the way we need them. So, anybody struggling with how we got the red or the purple equation? Now's a good time to ask. Okay, now, what variable should we get rid of now? A or C? What would be easier to get rid of? What number, which one would give me the smaller numbers to deal with? Probably C, right? Now, what number can you think of that 5 and 6 both go into? 5 and 6 both go into what number? 20? Nope, 5 goes in, 6 doesn't. 30? Does that work? Okay, so if that's the case, I'm going to multiply this equation by 5 and this equation by 6. If I multiply that equation by 5, I would get 40a plus 30c equals negative 60. And this one would be negative 132a. And you can double check me on that to make sure I'm right. Minus 30c equals 60. Double check I'm right on that. 6 times negative 22. And then somebody can be a witness for me on that one. Is 6 times negative 22 equals negative 132? Yes or no? Somebody check with me. 6 times negative 22. I want to know if I'm right or not. Ms. Mendez agrees. Okay. Alright, so here's what you need to combine now to get rid of the C's. I mean, if you want to get rid of the C's, you just join the Army, right? Then you don't have to worry about the C's, because that's for the Navy guys. So when you added these equations together, several of you got negative 92a equals 0. When you divide it by negative 92, what did you find out for a? 0. What are we going to do with that information? Pick your favorite equation to use. You could use this one right here. So C is equal to negative 12 over 6. What do they call that on the street? Negative 2. They do. They do call that negative 2 on the street. You can ask me. Now that you have A and C, now, Mr. Doswell, what are we going to do with it? Go back to the beginning. Go back to some equation in the beginning. Since we have A and we have C, do you have a favorite one? You don't? Alright, the first one, 3 times 0 plus 3 times B plus C, which is negative 2, equals negative 20. Okay. What is 3 times 0 minus 2? That's negative 2, so we're going to add 2 to both sides, giving us 3b equals, what is negative 20 plus 2? Negative 20 plus 2. Negative 18. So what does that tell us about b? Negative 6. b equals negative 6. Okay, question. Did you run out of room and bleed your work into question 3 accidentally? Okay. Now, if you've already started working on 3, which I think somebody over here has, that's okay. Go ahead and finish that one. But if you haven't started question 3, skip down to number 4 to give yourself some space. Or maybe we should go down here to number 6. Let's try 6 first. Okay, let's try 6 first. Which variable do you think we should get rid of in number 6 first? And our answer is staring at you in the last equation. Thank you. It would be x that you want to get rid of. So, what will you be multiplying the middle equation by? -3. Okay? So, just because I don't want to run out of room here, let's go -3x minus 12y minus 3z equals -36. Okay, and you should add the equations in the blue box. Add the equations in the blue box. Hopefully you got -15y plus 3z equals -24. So, which variable should we get rid of now? Down here at the bottom, should we get rid of the y's or the z's? I'd say the z's would probably be the easiest thing. We would want to multiply this one by what? 3. So, 12y. If you don't know, is that what you said? Oh, okay, not talking to me. Okay, we get that. And then we're adding it to the -15y plus 3z equals -24. Actually, let's use a different color. Add the equations that are in the green box. Hopefully you ended up getting -3y equals -6, therefore y equals 2. Okay? What are we going to do with that to find z? Where are we going to put it? I'm going to put it right there. Times 2 minus z equals 6. So find the value of z, and then use it to find the value of x. Go. Drag the 8 to the other side, and then divide by -1. Divide by -1. That's how we end up with 2. Already had a y of 2. Now what? Same old story over and over and over, right? I'm going to pick this equation right here. X plus 4 times 2 equals 12. Hopefully I wrote that down right. No way. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Wow. Okay. What did we come up with for X? Are you kidding? We came up with 2 again. We did. Yes. Okay, this system of equations was definitely made for ballerinas. A lot of tutus. I know, my goodness. Someday we're going to get to a coordinate 10-4. He won't get the truck driver joke either. Okay. Okay. Any questions about what we're doing on this? We'll practice one more today. You need to be able to do these from start to finish on your own without help. Let's look at 4 since we got more empty space there in the middle of the page. Which variable should we focus our attention on? Let's see here. Mr. Rumble, pick one. X, Y, or Z, which one do you want to get rid of? The only trouble I see with X is that we have to go all the way to 24. So we have to, now we're getting bigger numbers. Now, it's not impossible. Just like what Ms. Croswell asked about earlier. Could I do X? Could I do it my way? The answer is yes. I think it would be easier to pick one of the other two, only because it would make smaller numbers. But you're more than welcome to go for X. So let's pick something other than X. How about a Y or a Z? Let's do Y, okay? So I've got 2, 3, and 1. What is the number that 2, 3, and 1 all go into? 6. So we're going to multiply the top equation by 6, the middle equation by 3, and the bottom equation by 2. Let's do that first before we continue with this. Whoops. See if we agree. Work it out. Add your equations together and see if you agree with those. If we have a discrepancy somewhere, we need to fix it before we continue. But looks like we're ready to do the red box and the green box. Does anybody see a mistake that I've written down that I need to double check? Because I don't want to continue if we've got a mistake. Looks like we're good. Double checking. What should we get from the red box besides movies? What's 48 plus 9? 50 what? 48 plus 9. 48 plus 9 is how much? Well, 48 plus 10 would be 58. What about? Okay, 57. Thank you. 57x. My y's are gone. I got minus 3z. And then I got negative 42 plus negative 30. What's negative 42 plus negative 30? Negative what? If I borrowed $42 from you today and borrowed $30 from you tomorrow, how much would I owe you? Without interest, $72. Okay? How about the green one? 9 plus 2x. Just write this equation down before we leave. 9 plus 2x, or 9x plus 2x. 11x. The y's are gone. Negative 9 plus 4 gives me negative 5z. And negative 30 plus negative 6 gives me negative what? Nobody knows negative 30 plus negative 6. Negative 36. Answer me this one question before we leave. Which variable will you be getting rid of next? Which variable will you be going after next? Z's, definitely. Definitely the Z's. You are right. I'll be going after the Z's tonight because I need more sleep.